going on, Fadedculture? We're back with another tutorial. My name's Adrian and Barron, and we got my buddy Ronnie here on the chair. Today we're gonna be breaking down the steps on how to do a fade with the zero on the sides. And as far as the top, we're gonna go ahead and leave the length, but we're gonna cut the excess hair that hangs over. With that being said, guys, if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. We drop tutorials for y'all every week. We drop about 1 or 2. So please hit that subscribe button, guys. It does help the algorithm. Hit that thumbs up button while you're at it, and let's jump right into this tutorial. All right, before we get started though, if you had to give one up, which one would it be? Brushing your teeth or wiping your ass? You have to give one up for life. And you gotta look at the camera and answer this.
Okay, well,
you gotta give one up.
I can still take showers.
See, now you're getting real technical. He unlocked the question. He unlocked the answer to the question. Yeah, that question. So what would your answer be?
I'd keep my teeth.
You'd brush your teeth?
I'd brush my teeth.
You wouldn't wipe your butt?
Nah.
Let's jump right into this tutorial. All right, guys, so to begin, like I mentioned, he's gonna be leaving the length on top, but he does do a natural part, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with that by slightly damping the hair. It's gonna help us run that comb through the hair a lot easier. So using the wide side of the comb and then using my thumb to help apply pressure to begin our part, guys. And then you can use the fine side of the comb to refine the part if you need to. So now that we have our desired part, we're gonna go ahead and clip the top out of the way so it doesn't start to fall back towards the fade. We're gonna begin the debulking process. Using my number 2 guard, lever completely closed. As for the fade, we're gonna be starting our first guideline right at that temple peak area. From that corner, we're gonna work our way back, slightly drop it as we approach the back of the ear, continue on to the other side, and make sure that you end up at that same temple peak area on the opposite side. Starting with no guard, lever completely closed, we'll begin. All right, guys, we're done with that initial guideline. Now, with no guard still, lever completely open, we're gonna take our second guideline about a finger's width. Just make sure that it stays parallel to the one underneath the whole time, guys. All right, guys, so right here, I could continue with my number 1 guard, lever open, and create the third guideline. There's still a lot of hair here for me to make a clear guideline, so I'm gonna use clipper over comb, continue that debulking process. So we finished the debulking process. Now I'm gonna come in with my number 1 guard, lever completely open, and take the next guideline up about a finger's width. And his hair is very light, guys, but don't not get lost in the guidelines. We're still coming up, like I said, about a finger's width. Continuing our setup process, we're gonna use a number 2 guard, lever completely open, and it's gonna be the same thing, about a finger's width, guys. And as you can see, I'm exaggerating the flick out motion with this higher guard. All right, guys, final guard, number 3, lever completely open. And for this guard, I'm not gonna be thinking in terms of creating another guideline. I'm more so just thinking in terms of connecting or finish connecting the sides to the top. All right, so now to finish connecting the sides to the top, we still have a little bit of weight here on the parietal ridge, the crown area. We're gonna remove that by using our clipper over comb. So we are done setting up all our guidelines. By now you should have 3 guidelines left. The first one that we created with the lever closed, the second that we created with the lever open, and the third that we created with the number 1 guard, lever completely open. If you were easy on the wrist, that 2 should have blended right into the 3. We finished connecting the top from the 3 with clipper over comb. So we're gonna start with that top guideline and work our way down using my 1.5 guard, lever slightly closed, which is putting it at a 3/4 position. It's basically somewhere in between halfway and fully open. All right, guys, moving forward, we're gonna start to erase the second guideline coming down. Using my half guard, we're gonna keep the lever in that 3/4 position. Notice this step is creating a faint line right above it. Do not take this step any higher, as we will come back right now with our number 1 guard in that 3/4 position and remove that. So So like I mentioned, now with our number 1 guard in that 3/4 position, we're gonna remove that faint line that the half guard created. Now we are left with the initial guideline. For this guideline, guys, it's gonna take me 3 lever positions. We're gonna start with the lever slightly open, then we're gonna open it halfway, and then we're gonna finish off by opening up the lever completely, working on just one side of the head at a time. Again, guys, still 3 lever positions. Just repeat the same process. Focus just on the back side, and once you finish that, then focus just on the left side. We're gonna finish off by removing what's left from the bottom. And again, he's only getting a 0 on the sides. We're not gonna have to come in with our trimmer facing forward or electric shaver. We're gonna continue with just blending in the beard. Starting with my number 1 guard, we're gonna start with that lever open, follow that by closing the lever, then removing that number 1 guard and doing that 3-step process with no guard. Start with the lever open, and then halfway, and then close it all the way. So his neckline is already somewhat cleaned up, but I'm gonna go in here and just refine that line. Starting about a finger's width from the Adam's apple. And a tip that I do have, guys, when using the electric shaver is running the back of your finger in multiple directions on the skin, just so you get a feel of the grain, and you want to make sure that you are shaving against it. Now to proceed shaving with my straight razor, I'm gonna apply a little bit of shave gel and follow that with a little bit of water just to preserve the life of the shave gel. Always apply the shave gel in a circular motion, guys, just to really get in that grain. Tucking a little piece of napkin so we can have it right here to wipe the blade off after every few strokes. Using my Fadedculture matte black straight razor, which you can find at fadedculture.co. Using my opposite hand to help stretch that skin out. And then we're gonna begin by shaving with the grain. So now we're gonna proceed by shaving against the grain. Again, always using your opposite hand to help stretch that skin out. Now that we're done with the fade and the facial hair lineup, guys, we're gonna proceed with styling the top. Gonna go ahead and slightly damp the top, and then using high heat with high speed, I'm gonna start drying that hair and really opening up the cuticle. One thing I do want to mention, guys, is now that I damp the hair, before I actually blow dry it, I'm gonna add a little bit of matte pomade, and this is gonna really help me get in there and achieve that desired feel. But by putting in the matte pomade before we blow dry it, we're basically gonna work the product from the very bottom of the grain all the way to the top. So it's gonna help us with that style, instead of blow drying it and then just applying product on top. So we're done using the high heat, high speed to really open up that cuticle and really dry the hair. Now to really lock in that style, I'm gonna use a little bit of hairspray, and then we're gonna go ahead and use the cool shot on the blow dryer. So there you guys have it. We did a 0 on the sides, we left the length on top, and we took off all the excess with clipper over comb. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, guys. I hope y'all took something new. If y'all did, let me know what y'all did in the comments down below. Also, y'all feel free to request any haircuts that y'all would like to see on this channel. With that being said, guys, subscribe if you aren't already, hit that thumbs up button. And I'm Adrian Barron, this is Fadedculture. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.